live. And just so everybody's aware, I just had an experience with wind. I feel it in my throat. So if I cough, go on mute, I'm okay. It's just, I don't, yeah. The wind is like a weird thing, I feel like. It catches you
You
off
can't
guard.
see it. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. It's one
And
of
then
those
you
things
like,
that's
and you're like, so I feel like my throat is a little bit, whatever. So welcome back, everyone. This is my 14 fan series of all the 14 NFL teams. I will be honest and say, as some have been releasing, I figure out what I want to do. This one is going to release on Sunday because all of them are releasing before the game because the NFL played a game on Sunday or on Saturday and Monday, and I wasn't prepared, so I had to do a little audible. So there's that. However, I am excited to talk to you because there's a couple of things. I went back and watched your old video. There's a couple of things you said to me in the summer that you were looking forward to that I believe have happened. So I thought that was cool. And then the other thing is this is after week 18. So we already know who the matchups are. The fires have already started. Unfortunately, we already know the game has been moved. So we'll touch on a couple of those things in this. But before we get to all of that, how are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's Friday morning. I mean, obviously the vibes are down with everything going on in LA. And, first off, shout out to the first responders out there in the deep depths of hell of trying to put this nightmare to bed. More so, having some family, on the East Coast checking in is nice. I'm good. The family's good. We're just kind of just trying to stay prepared for whatever, at this point. And hopefully they get to control these fires and, a lot of people affected, it's one of those things that you just wish would just go away right then and there, like the moment that it happens.
Can I ask a question just for people that have maybe never been in a situation? So obviously you're watching, you're paying attention. Do you have an exit strategy? Like, is there a moment where you will say, all right, that plan we talked about, it's time. Is that how you kind of watch it, or?
You kind of watch it like that. Like you pack the bags. Like the one thing that, adulting is like when you get these alerts that bust through your phone, like please follow the instructions, like take them serious. If you're not even nowhere near, you're 50, 80 miles, whatever. Like if you live in a state that has tornadoes and hurricanes, you probably understand. So it's like more so of like, you just have that ready. You just know it takes 20 minutes to like put things together and like, all right, we got this. All right, cool. We good. So, but more so like you just hope that it just goes away. Like you hope that the people who are supposed to be taking care of these things are taking care of them and, we're good to go. So it's like my first experience because I'm an East Coaster. I'm from Jersey. Like this is my third year here. And like, and look, we had earthquakes on the same day as like a hurricane. Like it's like, yo, I can't deal with all this craziness. We don't deal with this in Jersey. Like this is still all new to me. So like, it's a little bit more scary for me because like every little earthquake to me is like, oh, whoa, where'd the floor go? Like everybody else, like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's a baby one. Like I don't want to feel the big one. So like, geez, like you get it. Like this is all scary to me. So like I'm taking everything serious, taking all the precautions, but I'm going to protect mine. I'm going to protect me and mine first.
Good for you. So it's always weird from a distance because you don't really know. And like Texas right now is dealing with like storms and wind and snow and ice and sleet. So
and
we all
wind.
know and wind. And we all know the state does not deal well with anything snowy, icy. So for us, we're just like, we all hope our heater doesn't go out because we've been through that. So anyways, okay, let's pivot and talk about something fun and exciting, which is football. So, if everything else goes to hell, let's just focus on the one thing we can that will make us laugh, cry, cheer, whatever. So how are you feeling now that we're in the playoffs? Your team is getting ready to play. How was this? Let's go back. How was the season for you? Because now it's a little wonky because you have to relocate and all the things, but how was the season? Were you happy about the season? How did you feel the season went overall?
So I would say overall, the regular season for me, I'm always prepared for the roller coasters. You come in with the high expectations because there's a couple things about the Rams. We know we're going to kill the draft. We know we're going to get that gem in that draft. Like we've been spoiled in there to know like we could start our hype train in draft like season. So it's like, all right, cool. We got a good roster. We got depth now. Like I felt confident about this defensive line for the most part coming out of the draft, what we did. So like, when you start seeing the injuries with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and the offensive line, and you don't have that projected starting five when you made all these moves in free agency to get that depth at the O-line. And it's like, come on, man. Like, we can never have it like all together at once at the same time.
Right.
And I feel like now, like, it's the same story as last year. Like, we got better after the bye. Like, we start killing it as soon as November, December hits. And like Matthew Stafford, 13-1 in November, December. Like, this dude is really that guy when he has the healthy pieces. So it's like, we got Cooper Kupp back. We got Puka Nacua. Let's go get this job done. Let's make this run. Now we're back in the same position where we're at now in the playoffs against a matchup that I feel really confident about. And that makes me feel like the payoff is like coming now. Like,
might be worth it. Yeah.
The blood, sweat, and tears and the stress and the more gray hairs I ended up over the season because of this game and this love that I have for this Rams team. And it's like, guys, let's put everybody, all the rumors and haters to bed. Like, we got this. Like, this is what we are built for. Like, the adversity. We have the best coach. I believe we have a Hall of Fame quarterback. We have probably the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. Like, I confidently, wholeheartedly believe that when we're all.
Do you believe that over Chase, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
Yes, 100%. Because who knows the game better than Cooper Kupp? We've already proven that he is some freak genius route running guy. He's not the fastest guy out of the gate, but he knows the game so well to where he's basically a quarterback, but with wide receiver talents. Like, he knows where to go. He knows how to beat his man. He knows how to get in sync with that quarterback and say, hey, I'm open right here. Boom. I'm going to get the extra yards. So you have an underdog guy like Cooper Kupp like that, and it's like, come on. Yeah. How can you? He's literally the best wide receiver in the league, healthy, hands down. That's wholeheartedly how I believe.
There are a couple of things you said to me in the episode before. You repeated some of them, but the one thing that shocked me when you said it, and as I've like watched, I don't watch the Rams as often as I do other teams, probably my positionality. And I feel like when they're on primetime, I always see them. But I've realized this year, unless my team plays a team in the season, I usually don't watch a lot of that division. So I don't know. But one thing you said to me that stuck with me the entire season, and obviously I follow you on Twitter, so I see what you tweet, is you were looking forward to the run game. Like, you were hell bent on this run game is going to surprise some people. This run game is going to be, and I remember you saying it, and I feel like you said it probably a couple of times, and I was just kind of like, he keeps hammering on this thing. And then during the season, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I think I might have tweeted, I don't remember, but I remember at one point I thought, oh, okay, this was the thing. Like, he saw this thing. So my Denver fan was the same with Bo Nix. He called Bo Nix before the draft, and then they got Bo Nix. And then everything he said about Bo Nix was absolutely true. So you did the same thing with the run game. What did you see, or what did you know that had you already like, oh yeah, we're going to be fine. Like, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be great.
The urgency to get the O-line, to make the moves in the offseason, like, that was like one of the first couple moves that we were looking to make. So it was like, once they started putting those pieces together, and then they started like looking at the draft and like saying, hey, this is a decent running back class. Let's go grab a Blake Corum. And it's like, that shows me the like how they're going to assert the game plan going into the season, that we need to have a healthy run game, maybe even a 1-2 punch. And Kyron Williams, like, my only concern with him ever was his health, but he is an excellent player. He's a pass blocking running back, a running back that has his head on the swivel, jumping out of the backfield, looking to catch the ball. So I look at more so the pieces that we already had, and then how we went out there and tried to get that O-line to be the payoff. So this run game can go back to being the Todd Gurley days, where we were like one of the best rushing offenses in the league. So like, it's one of those things that I want to see, if you're serious as a team, address the trenches. And that's the only way we're going to win games. We address the trenches on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball when we hit the draft.
Yeah, no, I mean, you nailed it. So, so
when you know,
you called that shot, and that was perfect. So then, what surprised you? Was there anything this season where you were like, okay, I knew this, and I didn't think this thing? Like, what shocked you throughout the season?
It has to be, like, for the most part, it has to be our secondary. Like, we got young guys. Cam Kinchins, Cam Curl, we got off of free agency. You look at Jalen McLaughlin, the undrafted guy, the interceptions and turnovers he's creating and getting, like, whoa, we got a secondary. Quentin Lake, I mean, he's performing at a career high right now, and it's looking like everything's starting to come together. And shout out to Chris Shula, man. Like, I was a little nervous, not really knowing his game, but excuse me, not being too familiar with your game. You could coach. Like, I'm cool with Chris Shula. So it's like, all right, cool, you got that. But that's what really popped out to me. Like, whoa, all right. Like, I already felt like when earlier in the season, when we had confirmation of like that confirmation moment for me, like when we were just getting beat on that deep ball. And like my prior to that was like, I can accept that. That's fine, because we're going to have a hard powering run game. We're going to have a great offense with Stafford, Kupp, Puka Nacua. Our secondary, I'll look away from that. I know it's going to be bad. They're going to put up points, but these guys are showing up.
Yeah.
Like, once we started making the adjustments at the secondary, I'm a Rams fan. I'm never going to put our guys like target. I'm not going to say name, but once we removed the problem, it was more so of like, oh, this is starting to really work.
That makes sense. Yeah, I watched you all play the Bills, and I watched you all play one of the matchups against the 49ers. And I watched something, I can't remember which game earlier in the season, but also, how do you like Jay Witt? How is Jordan Whittington been for you all?
Man,
Hook 'em, Jordan Whittington.
It's crazy when I say Les Snead is probably the best when it comes to hitting the draft. Like, I cannot describe the excitement I have for Jordan Whittington. And it started in preseason, just basically him getting the slight hype, but then you actually see it happen during preseason. You actually see it happen in notable games. When he's utilized, when he's actually put on the field, he will produce. Like, you give him opportunity, he's going to show up and show out. Only on 14 routes last week, he led the team in receiving yards. Like, that is incredible for a guy that is just like a late round guy, but more so the position and arrow where it's pointing for him. He can fill in that Cooper Kupp role. He's running the same routes.
There's a couple of guys that I credit for getting Texas back on track, and Jay Witt is one of them. And it's and depending on what Texas fan you ask, they might say he is it, and it's because he's consistent and he believes in team, whatever it takes for the team. I mean, he introduced, like, when he did something, going and celebrating with Bevo. Like, he introduced, like, yeah, we could all declare, but let's come back another year. Like, there's a couple of guys that I could never express my gratitude to them for what they did for the University of Texas. Bijan Robinson, Tavondre Sweat, Jordan Whittington, like, some guys just, and that doesn't take away from the other guys. Rojo also. But like, so it doesn't shock me because he gets it. He's been in a top tier program when it wasn't a top tier program. He transformed it. And every time I see him pop up on my timeline on Twitter, I'm like, keep shining. Like, just keep being you.
It's amazing to see his story, and it's amazing to see him go out there and take advantage of those opportunities, because I'm very happy with him. And I see a future, obviously in LA for him. And as you could see, it's no secret that Cooper Kupp has not been Cooper Kupp these last 4 weeks. And Jordan has come in and actually stepped up and put everything out there on the field. And like, you want those type of guys. Like, he's a running back, wide receiver. Like, you just see him running. And I say that because the way he runs, like, when he gets into open space, he has the lanes and vision and body type of like, I'm trying to truck you and I'm going to find and be elusive and find my way to the end zone. And I love that about him. So we got another yak guy in him. There's so much yak guys that we have on our offense. That's what's going to keep these chains moving. I
agree. You all are adapting what I coined. I didn't coin it. I'm just saying what I started talking about, positionless football. I think Buda Baker, is that his name, from Arizona, the Cardinals?
Yeah.
He's similar like that on defense. Like, what position does he play? Linebacker, maybe safety, maybe like slash whatever you need him to do.
How about just a good football player?
Right. And I think that's going to be the new kind of hybrid role in the NFL. Yeah. You need it on offense, you need it on defense. Deebo Samuel, like every team is going to need that guy where you're like, just put him. We need to stop. Throw him out there.
Throw him out there. Like seriously, that's nail on the head right there. And honestly, I'm all for that hybrid type of players. Like I love guys that can go both ways, like Travis Hunter. Like that's going to be very crucial for the location he goes to because he's going to fit that mode. I mean, hey, he could be a Ram if you want. Like we can get creative. Like come to
I
LA.
know. I will be honest with you. I was very high on. I didn't know if the Rams were going to be good this year, and I was very high on. If they're not good, they have to get Shador. Like it was perfect. Like everything, the coaching, that you still have a quarterback there, a veteran, you still have the receivers.
We would have had the tank, and like
I know.
I feel as though as a Rams fan, we're not ready to see that ugly picture of us rebuilding. Like we don't want to see that because we're still recovering from St. Louis days. Like we're still recovering from Jeff Fisher. Like Rams fans have been happy for a long period of time now. Like let's keep it that way. So I don't see us having that type of pride. Like Sean McVay wants to win. And if the moment he doesn't want to win anymore, I'm sure he's going to walk away from the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say the Steelers are in our current rebuild. It's just our rebuild looks different from a lot of teams. And so our fan base.
The rebuild is, I don't even call it a rebuild, honestly, because you guys have good pieces. It's
so why I call it a rebuild is we have a lot of guys on 1-year deals. We have a lot of guys that if we would have, like, they're on their last part of their rookie deal that we didn't sign. And anyways, this isn't about the Steelers, but we are who we are, and it is what it is. I'm not whining, complaining. Like I know who we are. I'm good. It's just
you guys are in the playoffs. You shouldn't be, but you guys are there.
And in fan bases, there's always the ebbs and flows of like, oh my God, we are amazing. We can beat anybody. And then there's always the fans that are like, we suck. Fire everybody. So I'm kind of in the middle where I'm just like, yeah, we're over. Everybody thought we were going to be last in the division and all this stuff. So, whatever. I'll take it with a grain of salt. So what do you think the strength is of, sorry, I keep messing with my hair because I took my braids out and it gets weird for me for about a week. So every time I look over at myself, I'm like, where are my braids? But anyways, what do you think the strength of your team is?
The strength of our team, Sean McVay. And I'm not going to say that to be cheesy, but if Sean McVay stays in his game plan, we are unstoppable. When he understands that we need to continue on establishing the run, keep feeding Kyron. Keep feeding him. Feed him on third down. Feed him. 3rd and 4, feed him. And in the red zone, feed him. Just let him get us closer to the destination if we can't convert. Because our weaknesses on our team, because you asked about the strengths, it's 3rd down in the red zone. If we can't convert, we're not making plays. We get desperate and try to throw bombs to Puka or Tutu Atwell. Incomplete. Red zone. We're not coming out with 6 points. We're leaving with 3. And it's like when you go against that, when he gets into these modes, like a couple games, like the Eagles game, we were in that. And then Saquon rushes right out the half. The first or second play is 70-yarder and like just took the air out of the stadium and we started doing weird things. We started forcing the ball. No, it's cool. Get back in rhythm. Stay on focus. And when McVay is like that at the peak, we're unstoppable. So that's our strength, like 100% hands down.
And you said weakness is 3rd down conversion and getting inside the red zone.
Yeah.
I feel like the Steelers are the same. Red zone is our kryptonite.
Yeah.
We don't get there very often.
Come away with 6. We can't keep getting 3, and the other team is just going to keep, pedal to the metal. Yeah, they're going to keep going.
Yeah. So we mentioned this at the top. The game has officially been moved to Arizona. Yep. So you all play the Vikings in Arizona. How are you feeling about that? As far as obviously it is, we know why. So I'm not talking about that aspect of it. But as a fan, how do Rams fans travel? They're used to going to Arizona because of the Cardinals. So it's not like this foreign place they've never been to. But how are those games usually? How do you think it will be with like everything that's happening? Now needing a flight. I don't know how far it is to drive. Like, how do you think that will work logistically?
Well, thankfully there are people out there that can give out available opportunities. Like, Kevin Demoff, he's offering out that they're trying to get 15 buses, 750 spots available. you
Oh, that's
know,
nice.
to get them to the game there and back. So shout out to the Rams and Kevin Denmoff, and also Kelly Stafford. She put it on her Instagram. I didn't completely read the story, but I know she wanted to start getting charter buses to help fans get to the game there and back as well. So there's great opportunities and resources out there. That game obviously is going to be, you know, high stakes for the Rams to immediately say, like, you know, LA's going through a lot right now with the fires, and we kind of need this, you know, this win. Like, it's a lot of pressure on them, but I do believe in my team. They will go out there and give their all for LA and try to come out with a win and advance in the playoffs. Like, I believe that our team listens and loves our fans and want to make us proud. So we're right there behind them. So, like, this game to us, if I want to be cocky about it, like, it's the Cardinals' house. We already put our mud on the shoes and went on their couch and say, hey, what's up? Yeah, well, we good. Like, we've done this many, many years in consecutive years. Like, we're no strangers to catching W's in that building. So I'm not afraid of the Vikings. They come out there and do what they do. But at the end of the day, we already smacked you in week 8. We can smack you now in week 19.
What do you think? When you look at the Vikings, because I know you well enough to know that you know what you're getting in the Vikings.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, let me backtrack. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because more fans are going to be watching our teams play than ever before, because we're going to be the only show in town. Like, there's only going to be one football game when our teams are playing.
It was prime time last time we smacked them too. Like, I'm just saying, like, this ain't nothing new to us. Like,
so,
okay, we'll run it back. Yo, you good? Oh, all right. Come get this played again.
What can we expect? Like, what is what is that matchup going to look like? Like, what aspects of them do you feel like you all are better? Like, what can we expect as we're watching you all? Because you all are on Monday night, right?
Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah.
And look, the crib is all on fire, literally. And we have this animosity and energy where you have Dan Campbell talking to Kevin O'Connell like, oh, see you in 2 weeks. Like, huh?
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you feel the energy that we coming in here with? Like, oh, okay. Dan, you next. Watch us prime time smack Kevin O'Connell around again. And then we coming right for you. Because to be honest, this is going to be a bad blood matchup between Lions and Rams. Because honestly, week 1, we could have beat them. And I say this like it sounds like petty and like, you know, oh, we almost won. Like, nah. It's only because if Puka didn't get hurt that game and we were at full strength at that O-line, that game would have been so different. And mind you, this is not the same Rams team that Dan Campbell game planned for in week 1. And y'all almost lost that game. So come see us now with this defense in the trenches. Come see us now with this secondary flying around, getting to the ball hog. Like, come see us with a healthy offense. Is going to be a different game. So the energy for this game right here, it's just like, all right, we smacked them again. We're going to smack them harder now. And we just want an audience for everybody to see, especially you, Dan Campbell, to come see this beating because we coming next. Like, we knocking. We coming next. Matter of fact, we not knocking. We kicking the door down when we go to Detroit and running back. And hold up, Kirby Joseph, did you see his Instagram, what he said about Stafford? Oh, the energy is high. The energy is high. I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait. Like, we really about to smack the Vikings. Lions, you next. Now, you got me hot real quick. I'm sorry. Let me calm down.
No, I like it. I like it. So one of the questions is there anybody you want to avoid? Like, is there anybody that you feel like when you look at the Rams, you're like, man, honestly, we just don't match up well against that team? Is there anybody that you feel like that in the NFC?
It has to be the Eagles. Yeah. Because it's not only that we lost. It's because of Saquon Barkley. He is a freak of nature. Like, that's one of the things. And him being a freak of nature in that category against our defense, we cannot stop the run. Like, that's no secret. Like, we can't stop tight ends. We can't stop the run. And I understand that it's been our weakness for some time now, but that's just a fact. But Saquon he's a monster. So, like, that's one of the biggest threats to me. And not really, like, I don't want to look away at the Packers because the Packers are kind of like sneaky dangerous. Like, they're kind of crazy. Like, they that person over there that's just crazy. You really don't want to make mad, but you don't really want to, like, stay. But
you don't know what you're gonna get. You're not sure. Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not sure what's over there. I don't want to look over there. So they get that vibe from me. Those two teams though are going to knock each other out, but it's like one or the other is going to be a little nasty to have them advance.
So if you had it your way, it sounds like you're like, okay, Vikings, let's take care of them real quick. Then bring on the Lions. Let's take care of them real quick.
Yeah.
Which, if that's probably the path. And then, assuming the Eagles went out, then it would be the Eagles would probably be left.
Yeah, if we did that right in my head, because
Yeah.
the Lions would play the lowest seed out of that win.
They
So
always
yeah,
get the lowest seed. So if you all knock out the 5, actually no, because you all,
it'll be Washington
it would
versus
be
Detroit if they beat Tampa. But if
Mhm.
Tampa wins, it will be Tampa, Philly, and then Rams, Detroit. But Tampa has to win that to get that scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so when the Rams, if your team goes to the Super Bowl, who would you want to see? If your team goes to the Super Bowl, who would you want to match up against in the AFC? And let's just put our fandom to the side. Who would you want to see in the Super Bowl if you could map up your perfect Super Bowl? If those answers are different.
If I had it my way, I want to say Rams, Broncos. And that'll be for my fandom.
That is so funny. Okay. Okay.
I would say that because the history behind Bo Nix starting, probably be the first rookie starter to start the Super Bowl in NFL history and to possibly win it. That would be cool. But if without the Rams in it, I would like to see probably a Bills Eagles game might be interesting.
I have not heard that combination.
Bills
Okay.
Eagles might be interesting only because, okay, Saquon, we didn't let you get the record. Make an attempt to get a ring. Your first year removed from hell, the Giants, and you know what? Like, pay it off with a Super Bowl.
This man just called it hell.
Look, I'm from Jersey, so I could talk negatively about Jets, Giants because they play in New Jersey. It's hell over there. But anyway, how I look at it is like that game will be so interesting for the Bills and their storyline. Like, can they finally win a Super Bowl and not lose in the big dance like how consecutive they did in the past? Like, that would be a Super Bowl. I think that would be like worth so much on both sides.
Yeah, I always go back and forth. So when I originally started, I was like, Eagles, Ravens would be cool. 2 black quarterbacks, like 2 great running backs, like just the story of it would be cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously the thing came out and freaking Steelers playing the Ravens. So I was like, oh. Yeah. Then I thought Bills, Lions, because neither one of them have won the Super Bowl. And so it would be like the first time somebody new had won the Super Bowl. Bills and gosh, I don't know. Anyways, the longer this goes on, Bills and Eagles actually is enticing too, because again, lots of storylines, but interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I think everybody's just kind of tired of the same fatigue with the Chiefs. And listen, I'm one of those people, I like dynasties. I like when teams dominate and everybody is chasing that team. I like it. I think it makes us work fun and it makes us all come together and hate one organization and one franchise. And it doesn't happen very often, but we all understand the assignment. We're like, no one's cheering for that team. Yeah.
Because I think if you don't have at least one dynasty that's a powerhouse, then it's like everybody sucks then. That means that every year your team, like, you can't put that much like love into a team. Like if they're hot one year and then they're down the next year, it's like,
right.
What do we do?
I mean, I can't find a Patriots fan these days, but I remember there was a time when we all used to hate them.
I don't know where they at actually. Like I don't see no Patriots gear at all when I'm on them
anywhere. For my series, they were the hardest. Well, Packers fans are hard to find too, but I think it's because my region. At one point, you could throw a rock and hit a Patriots fan. They were everywhere with that.
Maybe they were really just Tom Brady fans. Like, think about it. Like all the Patriots fans that were Tom Brady fans, they probably left with Tom. And then you just lost Belichick, and all the people that love Belichick and his antics, non-antics, I could say, but just Belichick himself.
Belichick, yeah.
They probably just left now too. Like,
yeah. I just can't find. I'm like, okay, like no one wants to claim them.
They hidden.
Okay. Yeah.
In the crib. Just like,
So let's say we are 3 minutes after the Rams win the Super Bowl. And I call you and I'm like, oh my gosh, they did it. Congratulations. Your team just won the Super Bowl. Why would you tell me they won the Super Bowl? What would be the reason that the Rams would win the Super Bowl this year?
God. And then I'll probably hang up. Because I'm gonna be way too overwhelmed with emotion. Just like, how did we do this? Seriously, like, wow, like what? I would just be just total shock. Like I would just probably emotionless just watching the clock go down like to zeros and we won it. Like
so basically I would have to call you a week later.
Yeah, for all that to register and process in my head, we just won the Super Bowl. Like us, the Rams. Like I would just be in total shock for like at least a week.
That is hilarious.
I'm being totally honest.
I just wasn't expecting it. So it caught me off guard. And now I'm tickled because that is really funny. So you're not wrong. Especially in a weird way too. Like this is almost like Katrina, right? When like the Saints just everything was nothing and it just was whatever. And then here come the Saints, and
I'm marching. Yeah. I mean, look, let's go. I'm here for it. I am here for all the Super Bowl hype for the Rams.
I love it. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Is it
in New Orleans? Yeah.
Oh man. New Orleans. And they're after that all that thing.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah. Everybody better, get their affairs in order because I don't know. Anyways, I'll just leave that where it's at. Yeah, seriously. So now it needs to happen. I need that moment so that you can say that to me. So as we move forward, is there anything else you want us to know about the Rams, about your team, about any players, about the coaching staff? Because like I said, people are going to be watching the Rams that probably haven't seen the Rams besides if they did a parlay or if they watched highlights or if their team played against their team.
Look, we're not perfect, but we're a scrappy team. Like we're just as dangerous, and we've proven that, in the last couple of weeks that we're one of those teams that can go out there and punch you in the mouth. Look what we did to the Bills. You know what I mean? So strap in for a great hard fought game, and hopefully we come out with a W. And like I honestly feel like you're going to be entertained with the Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold underdog story. Like play me a small violin. It ends now. I don't care. Get him out of here. Please, they was trying to get MVP talk for this guy. Like, get him out of here. I'm ready to smack the Vikings, honestly, though. But this is the energy that you need to understand when watching this game. Like, it's going to be that. It's going to be a hard-fought game, and it's going to be one of those games you're going to be glad that you sat in front of your TV and watched.
Is this a rival? Is this a non-division rival?
You know what it is? I feel like it's not really a rival, but Kevin O'Connell comes from the Sean McVay tree. So it's like he got to come down and humble his students. Like, sit it on down. You see what I be doing to Kyle. You seen what I did to him this year.
I didn't realize that.
Sit over there. Your tree ain't as strong as my tree. But
okay, got it. So there's a little bit of background. Okay, didn't know that. So before we end, and then we're going to end on you, I'll let people, you tell people where to find you and all those things. Oh, before I say that, thank you for scheduling this. I know we had a couple of things happening and then the weather got weird and the fires and all the stuff. So thank you for chatting with me. It's always fun chatting with you. It's super fun following you on Twitter, also X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it. I don't even care at this point what it is, but one thing I learned from doing my series in the summer is I gained a different insight to a lot of teams I would never even watch. And a lot of those people had Twitter. And you're one of them. And so now it's this season I got to watch you all's team and progression through Twitter. So it's kind of
my
cool.
reaction and my stressed outness.
Yes. Because I remember at the beginning of the season, you were kind of oh God, here we go with this crap. Here we go, guys.
I was just prepared. I was getting the tequila ready. I was about to just sit on the couch and just yep.
Yeah, you were here we go, guys. And then it was week after week, it got a little bit better.
Started getting up on that couch okay, all right. Yeah.
I wonder what people think when they see my Twitter, because I'm all over the place. Because I have so many. I have Texas and Colorado and the Steelers. So I feel like there's some moments where I'm run the ball, and the next day I'm what the F was that?
Why are we running the ball? That is the
Colorado,
average
run the
football
ball.
fan right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Texas, I need you to run the ball. Steelers,
Yeah.
why the F are we running the ball all the time? It's
Yep.
like I'm so all over the place, so it's funny. But it's so funny. I didn't even think about that because I'm a mess. So the $1 million question is, before I let you go, and you tell me all the places we can find you, who do you have? Texas or Ohio State?
I'm gonna go Texas.
Really? Okay.
I'm gonna go Texas. Because we got a guy, Jordan Winnington, and CJ Stroud's been trash this year. He's not really representing over there that much no more. So we good.
Yeah. Well, I told everybody, I'm like, I tweeted out, I'm like, I will be in a state of anxiety from starting now. Because like it's fun. I was watching Notre Dame and I was fine. As soon as that game was over, I was like, okay, what next? Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Take a deep breath. Their kicker can kick. Ours can't. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Like we have to establish a run. Woo, and I'm like going.
Yeah, you just back. Oh my gosh, that's stress.
Yeah. So today, honestly, so for people that don't know, I think you said at the beginning, we're recording this on Friday, so this is actual game day. Yeah. I am actually oddly calm. Very weird. I have no anxiety. I have no.
Did you accept you already seen the end of the story?
Yeah, I actually feel nothing. I'm just excited for the game. So this is weird for me. So yeah. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And then my Steelers play tomorrow. So I'm on this like, stay focused, get locked in. Okay. Stay focused, get locked in.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So thank you for joining me. And let us know where we can find you. Let us know all the things you're interested in, all the things that you do. I will obviously put all of the things in the description notes, but I like when people get to share out so other people can hear it from them.
Yeah. You can follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms, even Blue Sky. You can catch me over there. It's a newer app. It's a newer platform.
How is it?
It's fresh. It's cool. It's chilled. It's a little calm community. I mean, some folks from Twitter jumped over there. You interact, and I found some new friends as well. Like, I don't know. You should check it out. Blue Sky is a cool, common collective place that I'll label it. But you can find me there. And then obviously the Fantasy Football Podcast at NFL Network, Marcus Graham, Michael Florio, myself. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we can get back to a 2-a-week schedule. We might drop the cheat sheet also, which is our live stream show, which kind of gives like a Q&A where it's like we're more chilled and we're able to talk about other things. And Florio's Film Festival, we review movies, react, whatever the case may be. But that new season should be coming up soon. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid to admit this. I like creep around and stalk the people that I like collaborate with often.
Yeah.
And every time I find something of yours, it's refreshing that I can tell like you're still you. Does that make sense? Like sometimes you find stuff from people and you're like, I don't know that person. That was different. So every time, even when you tweet, even the things that you say, I'm always like, I don't know anything about fantasy, but I like to hear people talk about things they're passionate about. So it's just nice to know, like, and that's a compliment that you're just who you are. And I respect that. I feel like more people should be like that. So thank you for never shocking me. I'm always like, this is on par.
Like, wow. Thank you. I mean, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that.
Even when you're going back and forth with like your friends and people that know you that are nagging you on Twitter and it's like all fun and games. It's always like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes as society, we lose our ability to just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like
be
whatever.
Normal.
Trash talk to each other. And then you just say, okay, thanks. Have a good day. See you next week.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people don't get my personality or my jokes, and like I don't really get that back and forth interaction. But me, I don't take life too serious. I kind of just relax and just enjoy every minute, every second. It is what it is.
We need more of that. It's never disrespectful. It's always just like, we're just going to poke fun and then we're going to move on.
Look, bro, I'm not arguing with nobody on the internet. You are not existing literally in physical form in front of me. Like, I don't care. Like, goodbye.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's great. So anyway, so if you are on Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever, you're a great follow. Even if it's just fantasy stuff. If you're into fantasy, 100%, like 100%. So
Blue Sky, I'm over there talking about Marvel movies, old 90s movies, music, hip hop. I mean, I'm talking everything over there. We could join conversation and argue about that. Don't matter.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I'm sure I'll find a reason to talk to you about something else, some aspect at some point. So Yeah, we'll figure it out. Thank you so much. And stay safe. We'll keep your family and our thoughts and prayers. I hate thoughts and prayers now because I feel like we always say that and we do nothing about that. I need to come up with something new that I can say that I feel connected to, because that to me is like, oh, kids died, thoughts and prayers. I'm like, no, that doesn't hit. Like, that's not. I need to. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I think it's something better that I can say.
We're gonna workshop that.
Yeah, because that ain't it anymore. That ain't it. But anyways, thank you.